What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, going over the Giants versus the Eagles, and we finally won. And yeah, Natural Freak, we are going to rejoice. We get that you guys demolished us these past couple years, and that gives us all the more reason to rejoice. It's okay to be a little salty, but, you know, you guys had your way these past couple years. It's only fair that we get our win. So, yeah, we're going to rejoice. And, yeah, we're happy about this win. And you guys are now in the basement 0-3. So, shout out to everybody. All the Giants video makers, all the Eagles video makers. Yeah, this is a very satisfying win. Very, very satisfying win. And I get that the Eagles were in a position to win the game because of the Giants' mistakes. And, you know, there were some, late in the game, there were some defensive mess ups, and that could have won the Eagles the game. And just the terrible play calling that the Eagles had. Let's start with the fourth down plays. I mean, first of all, they got a field goal block, and the Giants got a field goal block, and Janoris Jenkins ran this one back. But he lateraled it to Jonathan Casillas. The announcer said he fumbled. No, he lateraled it back to try to get the touchdown, which was, I mean, it shows that you want to score, but that you want your teammates to score. But, I mean, if the Eagles got that one back, it would have been first down and, cancel that whole stop right there. And the field goal block wouldn't have even mattered. So, let's start with the fourth. I believe it was a 4th down and 2. Carson Wentz, read option. He decides to keep it himself. Now, Carson Wentz lacks elite speed, and he lacks elite elusiveness. Matter of fact, I don't even think he's elusive at all. So, he uses his size to get his way against players. And why on earth would you have a quarterback like that? I mean, I get he's a mobile quarterback. I get that. He'll run when he needs to run. But should a time come where it's one-on-one against a linebacker, I don't think he's going to win those matchups half the time. He's not going to make that guy miss, or a cornerback, or whatever it is. He's just going to have to use his size to get through the defender and try to fight for the extra yard and get the first down. If this was Michael Vick, I wouldn't have complained about this kind of play call. And I can't believe I'm just arguing for the Eagles right now, but that was just a terrible play call with not the right quarterback. I mean, you could run that play call if you had Michael Vick. He can make a guy miss. He can make a few guys miss. And if there's nothing to one side of the field, he could turn it back and go to the other side of the field. I've seen it happen. He did it in Pittsburgh when he ran for that touchdown. I believe it was against the Chargers last year. So that's a testament of what Michael Vick can do with his ability set. Carson Wentz is just not that guy. You're gonna depend on a 4th and 1 on a read option, and hey, go ahead and use whatever speed you got, even though it's not much, to try to blow past the defenders to get this extra yard. That was a terrible play call. And then it was 4th and 2 or whatever. They could have kicked the field goal. They decided to use Darren Sproles in the I formation up the gut. They decided to use Darren Sproles. This guy is 5'6", and he is not going to have his way against any defenders. He is not Maurice Jones-Drew, who's just going to truck people to get the extra yards in 4th down. If you wanted to get that first down and power your way for extra yardage, I formation, running to the strong side, right up the gut, use Ryan Matthews. Use Kenyon Barner. You have Kenyon Barner, who's he could fight his way for an extra yard or two. You use Darren Sproles. He's the smallest. He's not. I mean, he's pretty big, but he's the smallest in terms of height running back in the NFL. I mean, I don't understand what kind of play call that was. It was just ridiculous. I could see the play call, but it was a terrible substitution. It was terrible personnel on the field. So, yeah, the Eagles had a chance to win this game, but the Giants really, their defense, man, our defense. If Landon Collins does not make the Pro Bowl, I don't know what to say. If Landon Collins doesn't make first team All-Pro, I don't know what to say. This guy is leading the team in tackles, he's leading the team in sacks, and he's leading the team with interceptions. He's got 3 interceptions. I believe he has 4 sacks. He's all over the place. This guy is phenomenal. And let's go. And Andrew Adams also got a pick. He did a pretty good job. And he actually won the job over Nat Burhay for the starting free safety role. And he's not doing a bad job at all. He has some awareness issues, mind you. He tends not to do good in multitasking. If you got somebody on a fly route coming over and you got someone on a corner route coming over, you have to prioritize. You have to decide who you want to cover, really, because if it's a cover 2, that corner route is going to be open, and the fly is your responsibility. So you got to kind of prioritize. I mean, there's not really much you can do, but he has to be better in making his decisions. So let's start with Eli Manning. He had a pretty great game. Eli Manning had a pretty great game. He had a couple throws where I was just like, come on, Eli. Come on. That last interception, come on, Eli. You didn't. Just wait 2 more seconds. 2 more seconds to create more separation and get away from Connor Barnett. Not 2 more seconds because he would have got sacked. 0.2 milliseconds. Just wait until his hand is away from your point of view. And that would have been a complete pass. Eli Manning also missed a 4th down play in which we turned it over on downs. It could have been a touchdown right there. Odell Beckham created separation and tried to make the grab, but Eli Manning just barely missed him. Sucks that happened, but he had a pretty good game. He audibled all the touchdowns he had. I think it was all 4 he had were audibles. He saw something on the field. He audible quick to it. And how many times were there any contested touchdown catches in this game? Not really. Sterling Shepard was all by himself. Odell Beckham was all by himself. It was a slant, and he ran into the end zone uncontested. The only contested touchdown grab was the fade route, in which Eli threw a perfect pass there. Odell with his tippy toes. And Roger Lewis, I think, sorry, I had to sneeze there. I think with Roger Lewis, I think he only likes touchdown catches. I mean, he doesn't like to catch the ball if it's not a touchdown catch. He had a 30-yard reception. It was a great play. Uncontested, like I said, nobody was even in the perimeter to make a play on the ball except Roger Lewis. And then there was an instance where it was I think it was 2nd down or something like that. Or 3rd down. No, 2nd down. It was 2nd down. And, yeah, 2nd down. And Eli knew he had an offsides call. He just lobbed it up for Roger Lewis. He was covered, but Roger Lewis could have made a play, as you can see, because he almost caught the ball. But it was juggled. He dropped it. And then the play right after that, the Eagles are playing cover 2. And you know what the weakness is in cover 2 is the sidelines, 10 yards, between 10 and 15 yards. 10, 15 to 20 yards is the weakness in cover 2, because you got the cornerbacks working the shallow routes, whoever's going shallow, and then you got the 2 deep safeties. You know, you got some space on the sidelines, and then the linebackers are in the middle. So Roger Lewis ran a fly. He slowed down where the cushion was, where there was nobody around. Eli threw a great pass, and he dropped it. The reason why he dropped it is that the safety made a read on the play. He could have caught it and just braced for impact, but it looked like he heard Jalen Watkins was coming, and he had the ball in his hands, but he automatically looked to see if somebody's coming, and he just dropped it. But Eli Manning spread the ball around to everybody. A great 46-yard bomb to Victor Cruz. What a perfect pass. That ball was in the air for at least 4 seconds. That ball was in the air for such a long time. It was a perfect spiral, right on the money for Victor Cruz, where only he could have made the catch there. And then, thank God, everybody, round of applause. Larry Donnell did not play a snap in this game. Larry Donnell, I don't believe he's injured. It didn't say he was on the inactive list, and he did not play. That means Ben McAdoo was actually realizing that Larry Donnell is pretty garbage. So, running the ball, we had a bad time running the ball, but we ran the ball 24 times, and look what that got us. Look what that got us, guys. I told you guys, 20 to 25 times we need to start running the ball. What happened late in the game? We didn't break out for any huge runs, but we actually got the ball moving with the run. We actually gave Eli and the receivers a break and they ran the ball effectively. There was sometimes Paul Perkins 1 or 2 times gained 10 yards, and then he was gaining 5 yards, and then so on and so forth. We're running the ball more. When you run the ball more, you get the defense tired, and you're going to break something out, I promise you. And we ran the ball effectively. It didn't show up. 24 for 54, 2.3 average is terrible, but we did something. We did something. And Carson Wentz, he did well. I mean, he didn't play really bad, except in the beginning of the game. He just overthrew. He pulled the Andrew Luck and just overthrew a bunch of passes. But later in the game, he actually got into his groove, and he did a lot of things right. But he was just under pressure the whole game. The pass rush was phenomenal. You got Olivier Vernon, who got a sack, but it wasn't really a sack. He just pushed Carson Wentz out of bounds. But then you got Landon Collins, who came up on that crazy strong safety overload blitz. I believe there was a linebacker with him. And then Jonathan Casillas didn't get a sack, but he got a great quarterback hit. And we're actually effectively blitzing now, and that's what I like. Sometimes you're not going to effectively blitz all the time, but most of the time you should, and we did that. And great job by our pass rush. I just hope we just get more defensive lineman sacks where we just rush for and we get sacks. But the pressure was phenomenal. Carson Wentz, if you guys saw Carson Wentz the whole game, every time they panned up in his face on an instant replay or something, his face was just like this. Just bold-eyed. I mean, he just looked scared the whole game. He didn't look like he was comfortable the whole game, and that's something that the Giants defense needs to strive for. Having the quarterback on their toes so we can make plays and get our offense the ball to score. So that's all I got for you guys today. Great job by the Giants. We go 5-3. 0-3 in the division is the Philadelphia Eagles, all the way in the basement. And we're getting up there to Dallas. They're 7-1. And we're 2-1 in the division, guys. 2-1. We got to keep that going. Hopefully we beat Washington. I believe the last time we play them is Week 17. Then we face the Dallas Cowboys soon. We got to make sure we get that win there. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's pretty long, but I'm pretty excited about this win, guys. Shout out to everybody that watches my videos. And, yeah, see you guys in the next video.